You're listening to Building a Creative Life. I'm Pam Vale, an artist and writer. This podcast is about the small, often overlooked ways creativity shows up in real life, in what we notice and in what we choose to respond to. Here you'll find conversations and reflections shaped by curiosity, not instruction. No expectations, nothing to master. Just room to pay attention and trust where that leads. Hello, creative friends. I have been flooded recently with thoughts about time, age, and mortality in general, and not in an abstract way, very literally, as I sit in a car on my way to New York for the funeral of a family friend. During my drive, there were several events put in my path that prompted me to write this episode. First, there was a post on social media with a woman reading a poem about sitting with your 80-year-old self. I have seen this before, but today it stayed with me. You can Google "Do It for Your 80-Year-Old Self" to read the actual poem. She also talked about the beautiful trend of writing a letter to yourself from your 80-year-old version to who you are today. You can Google that as well to see emotional and moving versions of that practice. I found them very thought-provoking, and I believe if you search, the right versions will find you. Next was a tragic social media post about a talented crochet artist who unexpectedly passed away. In the post, her family shared that less than a month ago, she was diagnosed with an untreatable aggressive form of dementia. Now she's gone. This one felt especially personal because she was only 2 years older than I am. Lastly, I saw that someone I went to high school with also passed away this week. I didn't know him well, but it's still a little too close to home. I think when you're faced with loss, even indirectly, it asks you to take inventory, to look at things in your own life in relation to time, where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. What still feels unfinished or unattended? For me, it's a combination of thinking of time running out and how I want to use it, not based on what others think or want, but for myself. I think sometimes we are so focused on what we think we should want and may not even know what we do want. Creative expression is an accessible tool to help you figure that out, to figure yourself out. There's also something about age in this, not just the number, but what it represents: experience, perspective, the accumulation of skills, self-knowledge. When I was younger, I didn't really think about aging, especially not tied to my creativity and my creative output. I had a parent who was in a creative profession, and he worked in that area almost until he passed away at 84. There was never a cutoff. Never a time when he was expected to stop because of some arbitrary birthday number. There is no age limit on creative expression. But with that said, things do change and shift. It's not a given, but often our mobility can be different. Our attention can be distracted, or our responsibilities can interfere. I have noticed that long-term or multi-step projects don't interest me like they once did. The thought of a lot of prep and grunt work will make me choose something else. Also, things that are very messy or require a big setup and cleanup aren't attractive to me anymore. It's not good or bad, it's just different because I'm different. Your creative personality can change year to year, heck, even week to week. Who are you today? Have you thought about that? Or do you still plan for a previous version of yourself? I think we carry these personal assumptions about time, that there will be more of it, that we can wait, that things can be put off. And moments like this, heading to a funeral, interrupt that story. Not harshly, but clearly. Is there a medium you've always wanted to try? Was there something creative you did in the past that you wish you hadn't stopped? Are you intrigued by a technique or a skill or a project but haven't explored it yet? Do you feel like you don't have the time or space or money to try something new? Are you saving something for later? What if later doesn't come? What if you wait until later to try that micro mosaic craft and then your change in eyesight prohibits you from partaking in it? How would you feel? It's like people that wait until retirement to travel, and then when it's time, someone gets sick or can't physically do what they always wanted to. This all got me thinking about what we leave behind, both physically and not. Thinking about the crochet artist, not only did she make beautiful art, but she also taught classes in person and online. And what stood out to me was the lives she touched, the reach she had, the gifts she gave, the knowledge and the skills she shared. No matter what we do with it, creative expression changes people's lives. It's a foundational truth. Our minds open and problem solving gets more vigorous. You become more resilient and more accepting and more adaptable. Your confidence grows and your self-knowledge deepens. It might be subtle, but it happens. You have more capacity for happiness and joy. Your connection to yourself and to others becomes more authentic. These are the gifts she and other generous creatives leave behind to students or loved ones. And then there are also the physical items. Something someone touched and spent their precious time with. It carries their soul and thoughts and emotions and energy. I think it's important to think about these things, not in an urgent or pressured way. It's more about clarity and about seeing things as they are, about trying your best to not have regrets later, and maybe asking what actually matters. What do I want to be doing with my time? What feels aligned right now with the life I'm living? Are you missing a sense of community? Take a class and be in a room with real people. Are you wanting to have a finished item? Pick a project based on a current need you have, like making a raised flower bed or painting ceramic dishes. Are you not sure where to start? Talk to a friend. Search online. You can even reach out to me and I'll try and help you. There's something about being on the way to say goodbye to someone that makes you think about how you're showing up while you're still here, how you're spending your days, what you're choosing, maybe more importantly, what you're not choosing, and how much of that is conscious. I have a book coming out in September, my debut nonfiction about creativity and how it applies to you. The book writing was easy and joyful and cathartic, but the marketing plan is proving to be a totally different vibe for me. I'm having to be a beginner, to learn from scratch, and honestly, to step way out of my comfort zone. Sharing my knowledge and experience in the book, that was simple. Sharing me personally, not as easy, but they go hand in hand. So I must intentionally choose to put myself out there if it means more of you will have the opportunity to benefit from my words. And not to be morbid, but in reality, there will come a day when people will be traveling to say their last goodbyes to me. And how sad if I didn't live up to my full potential. It would be too late. One of my favorite quotes is by modern dance choreographer Martha Graham. She said, "There is only one of you in all time. This expression is unique, and if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost." Did you hear that? It will be lost. Even if it's just for you, you have something to say, learn, and share through your creative expression. Don't let that go to waste. It's up to you. And I don't think this is about having answers. I think it's more about allowing the questions to inform you, because that changes how you move forward. Sometimes I feel foolish building my work around the topic of creativity. It's easy to minimize the importance of something as seemingly unimportant as creative expression. But then events and people like this are put in front of me, and it all becomes clear again. Creativity and creative expression are vital components of our growth, personal development, happiness, fulfillment, and self-knowledge. Your creativity matters. Your personal expression matters. It's bigger than you. It connects you to the universe and to those around you. So prioritize your right to explore those corners of yourself and then pass it on. Share what you made, or share supplies you're no longer using. Share your knowledge and skills. Share your time or your encouragement or your inspiration. It all matters and is part of your legacy. Claim your spot and then pay it forward. You never know who will see something you made or wrote or did and think, maybe I can do that too. We're all in this together. Let's make it beautiful. Thank you for being here. I hope something from today's conversation stays with you in a quiet way. If this episode felt meaningful, you're welcome to follow the podcast or pass it along to someone who might enjoy it. Until next time.